Broadcasting live from the island of Wok Wok on the plain of Rabia. This is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome, everybody, to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham. Joining me today, I have Nelson.
In your upkeep, Jism deals 1 damage to you.
And Wheeler.
They call me the Chinese Aladdin.
And today is episode 2 of our 9-part series of tier ranking many Magic the Gathering mechanics. If you missed episode 1, you should go check it out. But very briefly, what we're going to be doing is going through a randomized 20 of 160 of the 180-something Magic mechanics and ranking them on a standardized tier list of S, A, B, C, and D, and talking about them. But the trick is that Nelson and Wheeler, who are doing the ranking, don't know what is on today's list before they rank, so they may find themselves in a pickle, but they do get to make 1 or 2 swaps at the end, depending on vibes.
Depending on how we feel.
Yeah, exactly. Before we start, though, I do want to remind everybody that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. Put the little LRR on there. That lets them know that we sent you over there, and we do that because we think Card Kingdom is good, and you should buy your cards there or sell your cards there. They're a bunch of good folks. Their customer service is excellent. You can tell them we sent you, and they'll send you a little button that says a funny thing on it. Also, if you want to clad those cards in the best sleeves you can get, Dragon Shield, buy anything on the Dragon Shield store, use the code LRRMTG5 to get yourself a 5% discount. It's free real estate. And finally, and most importantly, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. And if you are just listening to the podcast only and not watching on the YouTube channel, that is also cool. Maybe throw in for the Patreon. I don't know. Whatever, or don't, but, it'd be nice.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
I'm not your dad.
Where we left off last time was that we had successfully tier ranked 20 mechanics.
Yeah, we were really good at it.
I think we're the best to ever do it. Actually.
I think so. And we have another randomized 20 from our curated. I say curated. You did curate the 160, right?
I went through and removed 27.
All right.
But 27 that you didn't want to talk about?
Yeah, there was a couple that I took out because maybe it only showed up in weird sets that maybe aren't relevant to.
Oh, Absorb isn't on here?
I don't. Maybe at the end we can go over the 27.
Let's rank the ones that. Yeah, let's add more to this.
All right,
9
great. It's now a 10
yeah, we need a secret 10th part.
Yeah. No, legitimately, we should do that.
Probably.
The bonus episode. Yeah. But today, we are going to start with Prototype. This showed up in the Brothers' War. It's an alternate casting cost for artifact creatures in that set. Usually also, the artifact creatures themselves cast for colorless, but expensive. But for Prototype, you can get them out earlier with a prototype variant of them for typically a colored mana cost, and they're smaller, but they still do their abilities. So in the case we're looking at here, Skitter Beam Battalion, 9 mana for a 4/4 with trample and haste, and when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you create 2 tokens that are copies of it. Or for Prototype, 3 red for a 2/2. So the 2/2 still has trample and haste, and when it enters, you make 2 copies of it, but those 2 copies are also 2/2s. So it's cheaper, but still powerful.
Did you play this deck when it was in Standard? The
No.
Thran Spider prototype deck?
No, I
It
should
felt
have.
very
I saw it, but I never played it.
So I didn't look for any help to what to do with my Thran Spiders. I saw Thran Spider and was immediately smitten and built a bunch of different bad arena decks.
Yeah.
The other card I really liked from that set was Urza, Prince of Krug.
The Krug?
You can use your Power Stones to pay 6 mana to make more Thran Spiders. That deck was terrible. But yeah, I had lots of both of those trying to get onto the battlefield. But the good deck was just ramp into this one specifically, probably.
This was one of the big ones. Yeah.
This Prototype card is kind of the best one. There's a bunch of other cool ones. It's honestly really cool design space where, like Kicker, we give mechanics a bit of guff. We sort of tease everything that comes out that's very obviously Kicker, and there's that famous article that's everything's Kicker. Most mechanics are some sort of Kicker. But but this one was sweet. I don't know. They did a good job of being Kicker.
Everything's carbon, brother.
Everything's carbon. It's all made out of carbon.
It's I like Prototype.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
I think I like it more because I think I would like Prototype less if it was an older mechanic. I like it as a newer mechanic because it restricts the amount of words they can put on cards until you get to the arena one where you have a scroll wheel for all the text. It's good. It's fun.
I actually want to say a shot against. Like, I think my instinct is A tier for Prototype.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really quite good. But I think putting it at B is fair because it actually does require like a pretty sturdy understanding of the rules to pull off playing this card in paper.
Yeah, I'd put it. I was going to put it at C or B.
Okay.
I'd put it at B.
Are you comfortable with B? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a really good marriage of like the flavor of the mechanic with the execution.
They could come back to it too,
Yes.
like outside of Brothers War. It's
Like
a cool mechanic.
Also, this is a bit of an aside, but like I definitely thought that Simulacrum was going to see more play in Canadian Highlander.
That doesn't have sorry.
Oh, that one has
that
Unearth.
is Unearth.
My bad.
But I
bad.
agree.
Okay, fair
Yeah, I
enough.
agree.
Yeah.
But only
not?
because it's an ape.
Oh, but it unearths for
Green. My bad. It's also a colorless spell
Yeah.
that has a green
Okay.
activation on it, but they put Unearth in that set too, right?
Yeah.
The one I think of with Prototype is it's Big George.
Big Snapcaster Big George. Oh yeah, that one does see some play.
Flesh Gorger.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fleshy
Phyrexian
George.
Flesh Gorger.
Yeah.
Phyrexian Flesh
Arcane
Gorger.
Proxy shows
Right,
up.
that's the one I was trying to think
cool.
of, the Snapcaster Mage-esque card. So yeah, that one. And Skitter Beam is like playable in any format where you're getting up to big mana, right?
Some Prototype cards still see play or saw play, like the Woodcutter
Yes, that one's
Behemoth or
kinda
whatever
cool.
it's called. The one from the theme booster.
That
the
one was from Jumpstart, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that like a guy's
still has
schedule,
the
that
bro
one?
code.
Or- yeah.
Or bros the bro code.
The bro.
Yeah, that's not playing Mono Green Devotion and Pioneer because
Nice.
you can Karn for it and untap your neck those.
Right. That's cool.
All right. Well, I'm already feeling overloaded. It's Overload.
I like Overload a lot.
Banger.
You like it? I think
Banger alert.
Overload might be an S tier mechanic.
Overload is I like it because I like ones that mess with words. But Overload reads: you may cast this spell for its overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. So in the case here, we're looking at the classic Mizium Mortars. It deals 4 damage to target creature, or if you cast it for its overload cost, 4 damage to each.
You didn't work on Crimson Vow, right?
No.
Okay, it's like Cleave if it didn't suck ass. Like it's so Overload is so dope.
I find Cleave I love Cleave from a really like nerdy perspective, but I appreciate that it's not actually a great mechanic.
It's terrible.
I think it's very funny from like how they do it from like a grammatical like it's very clever and I appreciate its cleverness, but I don't actually think
Why
it's
was it
good.
not digital only? Like that feels like the perfect digital only mechanic. I will talk about when we get to
So
Cleave.
we talked last week about how Rampage walked so that Bushido could run, and ironically, like
This is the reverse.
Overlord kind of ran so that Cleave could like run into a brick wall. Unfortunately, like they were there must have been some part of the design process for Cleave where it's like, hey, give the players credit. They loved Overload. Overload worked fine, even though it's kind of complicated. You read the ability, you're like, wait, I got to reread this card, and now I got to swap words around when I'm rereading it. And it's like, yeah, that's what you got to do. And it turns out that's actually super elegant and gorgeous. And like the Overload ability reminds me of the Oath of the Gatewatch colorless mana symbols, where it was like, oh yeah, you're familiar with colorless mana. You're going to be able to understand how this triangle symbol works. It's fine.
They could have overloaded at any point in time, and in fact, likely did with some kicker cards.
Yes.
But like, yeah, it rules. Because think about there are very few overload cards that I don't even know if there's a single overload card that I go, I'm never casting it for the like base rate.
Oh,
I'm only
they're
overloading.
all perfectly
Yeah,
balanced.
people like
all the
psych-
overload cards like it could go.
The
either
most
way.
iconic ones are Cyclonic Rift, and Vandal Blast through Commander. Those are the most popular ones.
Winds
and then
of
Mizium
Abandon's
Mortars
pretty good too. The
and Winds of
newest one.
Abandon.
Winds of Abandon's
Yeah.
good too,
But like, I've played all those cards pretty frequently as just like, I just want to, 1 mana blow up your artifact.
sides.
Great. Boomerang.
Yep.
Right, or it doesn't hit lands.
Sure,
but
yeah.
boomerang,
Into the royal
sure,
thing, yeah.
great. That's totally fine.
Yep. Path
2
to
mana,
Exile?
Path
2
to
mana,
Exile,
Path to
2 mana. Yeah, if it's killing you, if I need to get rid of that thing or I need to double spell, for sure. Like,
The other fairly popular one, I don't know how much they play it, but they've printed it multiple times, so I'm guessing that's because players want them, is the exile something from your graveyard and cast it for free. And that
Mizzix's Mastery.
and that you can have Mizzix's Mastery, you can have a whole strategy based around like just try to discard big spell, cast this for 4
Yeah, exactly.
to cheat on mana, as opposed to like late game 8 mana.
Right.
Hopefully I win the game.
And it changes how you play that card. Like Mizzix's Mastery to cast your Cruel Ultimatum, your Magma Opus, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people do that. But when you get to the Overload, you're like, oh my god, I can cast Lightning Bolt and Serum Visions and Compulsive Research and, like, I don't know, Into the Void. Like, it changes. You might get a big spell in there, but honestly, you're just excited about all the little spells that you get to cast.
4 or 5 little spells.
Yeah,
in this one
it's
turn.
dope.
Yeah.
It's dope. It's I would S tier.
Let's just put Overload on S tier.
Yeah.
I think they honestly they nailed Overload.
Let's come out hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. I think we're gonna keep Overload on S.
My favorite, maybe not my favorite, but one that I like and wanted to highlight because it's, again, this is someone being very clever, but I like it, is from Modern Horizons, when they were able to, they played around with the overload costs, is Damn. Which
it's so
such
good.
an elegant card. Absolutely,
black, destroy that creature.
Yeah.
But the overload cost is 2 white, which is the same cost as Wrath of God. And then when you cast it for its overload cost, it's just Wrath of God.
It's the kind of thing that
I love this.
I mean, Damn sees play in Vintage Cube, saw some modern play, maybe still sees like niche modern play. And it's just like, its home in Canadian Highlander is so funny. Where like you can Spell Seeker, a creature that finds a instant or sorcery mana value 2 or less with this card. So it lets you Spell Seeker for a Wrath, and you feel like a genius when you do that. And like when you include it in your blue-white deck, until you need to have a white card to pitch to Solitude, or your Wrath gets spell snared. But when that doesn't happen, you're like, Spell Seeker for Damn. They're like, what?
Yeah. The whole party, like there's a record scratch, and like everyone looks at you. You walked in dressed super fly. Yeah.
There's so much room that they could work with Overload. Like they could do some weird stuff.
I think we're not done with. I think they're not done with
no.
Overload.
Yeah,
Overload is just like it's got room to grow.
It's just so cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, it's very satisfying.
All right, next up is one that, I mean, it seems pretty good to me because it's very nice and clean.
I just want to talk about Overload.
I know, right? It's
like
good.
You said that, I'm like, yeah. What if there's like a cool Group Hug Commander card where it's like target player creates an elephant token or whatever and does a thing, and then you're like, but I could overload it for cheaper, and everybody gets elephants, and it feels so. It's got an elephant party.
There's room to do that with like tax effects, where there could be like a whole cycle of different cards.
Yeah, it's so
Overload.
Cool.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
We're calling it Overload's probably coming back to a mainstay.
Yeah,
that's how good
it's the best mechanic of all time.
All right, well, how about this one? It is. It's simple. We love it. It's Death Touch.
Oh. Also probably
death touches.
Yeah. Whenever it's a static ability, whenever the creature deals any amount of damage to another
like
creature,
Reach, it's secretly from Alpha.
Yeah.
Kind of. Well,
the creature dies.
The basilisks worked differently.
Yes,
they actually they didn't get to be errata to have Death Touch because
it's like the lifelink thing.
Yes,
where
exactly.
that was a triggered
but
ability.
It's so
it's the vibe. It's the same.
Yeah,
same idea.
Like from day one, they're like, "What if the thing touches you and you die?"
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, yep."
Yeah,
that's a trope in fantasy.
Sometimes the thing itself isn't that strong or scary, but as Medusa looks at you, you're dead.
As printed, Thicket Basilisk is a 2/4 for 5 that reads, any non-wall creature blocking Basilisk is destroyed, comma, as is any creature blocked by Basilisk. Creatures destroyed this way deal their damage before dying.
Nice.
I love this because you just you read all that. That's very dramatic rules text.
Yeah.
And then it's a stupid lizard with like a couple of extra legs, I guess.
Yeah, it's got like 8 legs, looks like.
Yeah.
There's nothing for scale. It's just on the floor, so you're like, well, it's a lizard. It might fit in my pocket. Or maybe it's huge.
This is AI art. Check the extra legs. Death Touch is an S, right?
Death
it's
Touch
just
is
so cool.
Crucial.
And you print it on small creatures, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a poison dart frog. I read a book in elementary school that said that's going to kill you if you touch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all the things. It's elegant, it's intuitive, it's relevant. People feel things about it when it's in a place where they don't expect it. You know,
it's cool when you have a lot of it. It's cool when you have a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's good as a spice or sometimes food. It's good. Yep. It's good as a main course too. Sometimes there's like a Death Touch Lord.
It's the paprika of like magic.
I love, by the way, the icon for it. The current icon is like the sort of the burning skull kind of thing. But previously on some of those like little punch out with Ikoria, there were like the punch out counters when like something got a death touch counter, and at the time the symbol that they were using for death touch was like a little cartoon hand going like boop with like a little burst on the finger, and I just find that very funny that it's just like and you die. All right, next up, how could we have ever seen this coming? It's Foretell. Called Heim. Foretell is, during your turn, you can pay 2 generic mana and exile the card from your hand face down. Your opponent doesn't get to know what it is. And then on a later turn, you can cast it for its Foretell cost. So if it's a creature or sorcery, it's got to be your next turn. If it's an instant, it could be as early as your opponent's turn.
Are we allowed to make new tiers? Because this is a trend with tier lists.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you ever watch a streamer do a tier list stream? They always add new tiers.
I don't know if we have that functionality in what Paul's made for us.
This would be a C+.
Oh, interesting. I wondered if you like it, you disliked it so much you wanted it in like an F tier.
No, I like it. It's just not super exciting and also doesn't play the way that you want it to play.
Do you think that the plot design team and the Foretell design team got to exchange notes before either went to print? Because like the life cycle of the
years
set
apart.
is like 3 yeah, but they're designing them like 3 years.
I mean,
so
maybe people that worked on Call Time worked on OTJ.
Right, but it's like they clearly weren't so stoked with how Foretell went that they just wanted to bring Foretell back.
Yeah.
So plot is like a similar ability, but there's some very distinct differences.
Really like plot. I think plot's cool.
So yeah, you think they improved on it?
Yeah,
fair enough.
The cool part of Foretell is the mystery, but then in practice, at least for constructed, like
it's Elrond's Epiphany.
Yeah, it's there is not much mystery until you there's not to get too Canadian. There's not much mystery with it until you build your decks like Alexander Haynes, like AVR PT deck, where you know throw all those miracles in. Right? It's like Foretell is a lot more interesting as the pilot when you throw a bunch of Foretell cards, when you play the Wrath, Doomscar, when you play Behold the Multiverse, when you play Saw It Coming, when you have like a cheeky Elrond's Epiphany. But then in practice, that's not how it really played out. And also it's a mechanic that maybe if there were like 2 more sets with Foretell, I'd be more interested in it. But it's just this plus like Delayed Blast Fireball.
I also want to give them, like, I kind of want to take a point off of Foretell because for some reason you're allowed to foretell a card from your hand anytime during your turn.
Yeah.
And I never figured out, like, I liked Call Time. I do like Call Time, the set. I'm a very big fan of Call Time. And I don't hate the foretell mechanic, but I've never figured out why that matters. Like, why were we able to foretell cards in the middle of combat or in our end step? Why didn't they just say you foretell at sorcery speed? What, like, I've never run into a situation where this matters, you know? And so I just feel like, okay, you did that. You gave us anytime during your turn, you can test the foretell stuff. But then there's never been any payoff that I know of for that. So, like, I may be comfortable putting Foretell in, like, D.
Wow.
But we could do C if you want.
I'd put C, because
Let's do C.
It's the kind of mechanic where if it came back, I wouldn't be upset, but I would, like, I just, you know, I want it to come back because it's like, okay, you very clearly, you know, you had something here, but it wasn't great. You could do better. I want to see, like, what you could do when you go beyond just one set, you know?
Right.
I would use that ability, or I would use that for, this is the only possible upside, is when you're playing on Arena and your opponent has, you've done attacks and your opponent has passed through to damage, and then you just go, great, foretell, and then it just runs through the rest of your turn. That's the only positive to being able to foretell in the middle of combat, is you just one, maybe two fewer clicks.
Like they have mana up and you're waiting for them to decide if they want to do a kill spell after blockers or whatever, and you're like, yeah, it doesn't matter for me, I just want to spend my actions now.
Yeah.
And then it'll speed up my timer. Yeah.
I attack you with my Carnage Interpreter. You block. I foretell my Delayed Blast Fireball. My creature's now a 5/5. I have now won this match of Vintage Cube.
Nice.
My final result, 1-2.
Okay, good call. Good call.
All right, next up. This is a dated reference. No, it's Sparta. That's right, we're talking about Madness.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, thank you.
This is tough.
I didn't prep my segues. I want to be clear.
You're fine. If you find,
in case that wasn't obvious.
If you find an old... we should describe what the Madness ability is.
Right. Madness is, if you discard this card, then you may play it for its Madness cost, if a card has Madness. And this gets around timing restrictions, which is interesting. But you have to contrive a way to discard. You can't just... You don't just get to decide, I'm discarding this card now. You have to have a way to cause you to discard a card.
I would request that we put a different Madness card on the screen.
Okay.
Because with Arrogant Worm on the screen, I want to give this an S. Oh. But if you put, like, I don't know.
What about Ickerslick? Still S?
No.
Big fan of Canadian folk comedy trio, the Arrogant Worms.
My tune changes if you put like Gorgon Recluse or whatever, right? Like
I don't even know what card.
What about just Basking Root Wall? It's still
no,
S.
that's still an S. Sorry, pal.
If you put Wild Mongrel on the screen, we're just gonna cement Madness as S.
Yeah, I love Madness. I grew up playing Blue Green Madness. That was my deck and extended. That was like. It was a cheap deck that was good. That you could also just learn about what mattered in matches of Magic.
Sure.
And I miss that. You don't have a ton of decks like that in Magic the Gathering anymore.
I stopped myself so that Graham could read the ability, but I was going to say, like, if you find an old, they will likely have a strong opinion one way or the other about Madness. You've got the Blue-Green Madness and Red-Green Madness pilots that are like, this is when Magic was Magic. Like, everything, our lives were ahead of us, and we were putting Aquamoebas into play on turn 2, and then Circular Lodge King, our opponent's expensive spells on turn 3. It was fantastic. Yeah. Nothing felt better. And I wish we could just go back to that time. And then you'll also find people who are on the receiving end being like, Madness is like bullshit. You should either get to discard a card for the ability that you're trying to discard a card for, or not play that ability. It's like they're cheating.
It's a mess of an ability. It's like a rules nightmare.
There was a Madness zone for a while. Madness, the ability has actually gone through several edits of like what it does, like how the ability works.
Yeah, it used to. I'm reading that now. Yeah. Actually, it used to be that a player discarding a card with Madness first had to decide if it was getting discarded or going to exile. Anyway, you know what? It doesn't matter. The way it works now is when you discard a card with Madness, it automatically goes to exile, where it waits for you to decide if you're going to cast it or allow it to just go to your graveyard.
So I would put it in C. My stance is C.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like they made, I think, Mayhem... James, you can censor this next line so that our video actually receives views. From Marvel's Spider-Man is great. Like, I think Mayhem is like great. I would love to see Mayhem is like the way that you do this in a rules way that makes sense, basically.
Yeah.
And now I'm excited to make a commander deck that's just called Madness and Mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayhem fixed it. They took the idea of Madness and made it, I don't know, a tiny bit more powerful, mostly, sometimes worse, but mostly a tiny bit more powerful and way easier to explain.
Yeah. You could, like, if Mayhem comes back, and I hope it does, maybe more cards printed with, like, you can cast this that have flash or that have you can cast this for its Mayhem cost as though it had flash. Or whatever.
Oh, neat. Yeah, right? Conditional flash.
Only flash on Mayhem. Sure. Like, you can still replicate the experience of Madness, but also just have it work within the rules of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. No, I like C. C was where I was planning to argue you down, too.
Yeah, I mean, I like, if we go by how cool it was.
Yeah,
and
it's like an S for how
it's an S.
It's an S for like the flavor experience of getting to pilot the Madness
Yeah,
cards.
but also it's the same thing with like Affinity, right? Where it's like Affinity for artifacts, S tier, baby. I was winning packs at Yellow Jacket Comics and Toys
every Friday night. Yeah, for the actual health of the games, like okay, Affinity is a D tier mechanic.
Yeah, but for the pluses of beating Tyler Woolley at F&M, like I'll take some.
You can't trade that for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, next up, you can count on it, and then when it dies, you can count on a different thing. It's modular.
Oh, weird. It's weird that we're talking about modular right after we had to call back to Affinity. Modular is actually less of the criminal from this era, right? Like, like it's still...
It's very good.
I mean, the ability is really cool and well designed, and then they just put it on cards that were like kind of better than anything else that was happening at the time, right?
Do all modular creatures have 0/0 power and toughness?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Okay, so
what's that parasite that's in -1/-1? Is that just
that's Sunburst. Spinal Parasite?
Yeah, Spinal Parasite. Sorry.
So yeah, modular is it's modular N. The creature comes into play with N counters on it, and then when it dies, you can put its +1/+1 counters, because possibly it's gotten more or less over the course of play, onto a different artifact creature.
I love this card. Arcbound Overseer.
It's
with the
weird
Carl
one.
Critchlow art.
Yeah.
The modular creatures are so dope. They look so cool. I mean, this was like one of the sets of my childhood. So like, I actually like modular a lot. I think it's a cool mechanic.
They have brought it back a little bit.
Yep,
It's an easy enough mechanic to explain. People miss that they only go on artifact creatures.
Yeah.
Which I don't know whose fault that is. I don't know, but basically the designers always have to take the responsibility for everything that goes wrong. Whether it's
Rosewater
their
has
fault
said
or
that-
not, right?
I think that's something that you could, I mean, again, just read the card.
Rosewater said that if R&D had to do modular over again, they wouldn't limit it to just artifact creatures.
For some reason, we can't, as Magic players, try to read the ability that's printed directly on the card and catch that it says artifact creature.
Yeah.
It's very common. Like the number of times that a modular creature has hit a non-artifact creature, and then the game state continues, and then like 8 turns later, you're like, oh, whoops. You know,
I like that it hits artifact creatures.
Sure, yeah, it's flavorful.
Yeah, my change from modular would be that it puts its counters on a creature.
oh, all the counters go over?
Yeah,
That'd be
like
cool.
that way that it could be used for like charge counters and stuff like that. Just has a little more flexibility, and I think that's kind of interesting.
Right. And then when Ikoria came out, all those modular creatures would be way better. As
Yeah,
your
sure.
death touch counters
I am
would be
okay if Arcbound Overseer gets better,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because like the modular creatures, Ravager isn't. I mean, Ravager's good in part because of modular.
Yeah.
But like, Ravager is also just good because Seat of the Synod exists.
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly. Like what I'm thinking about the Ravager Affinity deck from Standard at the time. It's like, was Ravager and Arcbound Worker more of the problem, or was it just like Seat of the Synod and Murr Enforcer and Frogmite that were more of the like?
I'm going
I
to go
don't
with
know.
the Artifact Lands and Chrome Mox for the
Right.
big problem, or maybe Aether Vial as well, or Disciple the Vault, or Thought
There were
Cast.
a lot of- there were a lot of criminals in this
problems.
deck,
A lot
yeah.
of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put modular at B. I like it. It's cool.
Just really quickly to your earlier question, is there a modular creature that isn't 0/0?
Right.
There is one.
Oh.
It is.
What's that?
It is.
Wait.
That's
this guy.
0/1.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, it's the Dication Javelineers reference.
bullshit. Get like stupid. Stupid. Get rid of this.
Thanks for doing the search, James.
The Modern Horizons crap. Just like let it die.
They brought back modular though. Yeah, I'm happy with A or B. I think modular is pretty clever. If you want to put it in B, that's
I'd
fine.
be.
Yeah, let's put it in B. It's solid.
James, can we bring up the art for Arcbound Fiend? It's a this is like I love
this.
yeah.
This is like a good tattoo. Like you could.
This is a look at that bad boy. This is just so Mirrodin's so cool.
This card specifically is like the most fun one, right? Like
This card kills
The Overseer
people.
we just saw is really cool, but this one's like the beginning of your upkeep. You can change a counter from something else onto this, but then it has modular and fear.
Yeah, this card may look terrible to people that have to censor themselves from saying the word sex. But like for older people, this is a card where you're like, damn, this kills people. It's so fear modular 3. Look at that machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hell
a pretty
yeah.
cool like commander
Writhing
card.
around
Obviously,
in the dust.
6 mana and it doesn't have an affinity, so it wasn't like it was never a player constructed.
Whatever,
And
man.
If you brought one down in draft, it
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh, if you don't kill this,
I'm
it's going to do
stealing
stuff.
your stuff.
Yeah.
What if you kill people with artifact creatures by having your other creatures pick them up and hit them with them? That's right, it's Reconfigure.
Oh.
It's a
yeah.
creature that can also become an equipment and then also become not being an equipment anymore.
This set was such a banger.
So
Yeah.
I should explain that better. Reconfigure is an ability that these are creatures, though this one doesn't really look like a creature, but whatever. They're creatures, and then you can pay a usually generic mana cost, and they turn into an equipment that then grants. Well, I mean, you see here lizard blades. There are one with double strike, and they say equipped creature has double strike, and that second thing only matters if a different creature is equipped with lizard blades. But notably, unlike equipment, which you need to have a creature target to move the equipment, Reconfigure, you can just pay to be like, and now it falls off the creature and it's its own creature again.
So I really like Reconfigure.
All right.
I think the execution of this is a little flawed.
Oh, darn. I was going to say the opposite.
In the
Okay.
sense, no, not mechanically.
Oh, okay.
Just like, what am I looking at?
Oh,
How is this a
sure.
creature?
Maybe you want visually or something. Some
We're
more
on
clues.
We're on Kamigawa.
Right.
Like I would have loved if all of these equipment creatures were also spirits.
Gotcha.
Right?
Or
Like,
I see what you're saying.
something tied into it, because this is
Show me the germ token
What
or
the
whatever
hell
kind of
am I
thing.
looking at?
It's swords. Yeah, we're looking at swords.
If I'm looking like the one of the ones that does
like
it
the
super
samurai
well,
hat or whatever does a better job, I think.
the ogre helm,
The
ogre helm,
Look,
yeah,
it's got
this,
crab claws. like,
exactly.
as part of the, and I guess when you put those on, those just drape over your shoulders. or
This
something,
this looks like it's out of like a Junji Ito
Right.
manga, or the
What about the cat? The really played
lion
one.
sash?
The lion sash. Is that one looks like you could wear it, or it could be a
I do
creature
wish
too.
there was a little more
looks like
going
it's a
on,
spirit,
but yes,
kind
it does hit the spiritual quota.
Right.
The demon too. The Blade of the Oni.
Blade of the Oni.
Right, like Blade of the Oni. This hat would just. I think it does a pretty good job. Like this has an intimidating kind of aura.
Yes,
but I just
it
want a
doesn't look like
little
it can
more.
move on its own, but it does look scary and like it's going to hurt you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool, like mechanically, I like how it plays. It's fun. This is, in my opinion, the way to do the whole like equipment
It's
creature, or one of the better
Another
ways.
side of the living weapon conversation we started having in the first episode. This is sort of the fourth way they've done like your equipment is also a creature.
but not in a way that I think diminishes other equipment.
I agree. Yeah, this
Right.
one, instead of needing to compare like equipment that brings its own creature that it's attached to like equipment that doesn't do that, this one gets to kind of sit outside of that conversation. It's like, well, it is a creature,
Yep.
or maybe it's going to be an equipment, but like your opponent gets a chance to kill it with a creature removal spell.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So your upfront cost to have the value of like my equipment draw isn't blank if I don't have another creature is higher, feels more fair.
Yeah.
You know.
I like Reconfigure.
I like Reconfigure too.
I'd give it an A.
I think A is fair.
Yeah, I like A for this.
Yeah.
God, I hope we get some bad mechanics here.
Yeah, you were like going in and saying like you like it, but you wanted to say that they didn't
I just
execute it super well, and then I
Yeah.
realized we were just kind of talking about the art or the
art
or the
art
lore.
direction
Yeah,
is just tough. I mean, it's just tough.
for sure
To do something that reads as a creature and also a tool.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
That's
difficult.
challenging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like
Reality
that.
chip, they did a pretty good job, I think.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Like
Yeah.
there are mechanical implications by making them spirits or adding other creature types for sure. But like,
Right.
I
In
think
terms
it's
of
worth it.
How the ability works, though, again, just like pay a cost, attach this to a creature, it stops being a creature itself, only a sorcery. It's like people just kind of got it. Like I haven't run into a lot of like,
Yeah.
Judge, reconfigure happened and now our game's broken. Like, your
Your weapon talks to you. There's something in this weapon, and when you start using it as a weapon, it becomes the weapon.
Right.
And like, maybe depending on the quality of whatever the story is, it will have a snarky comment or not. But you get that vibe of like, no, in this instance, it is the weapon. right?
Do you think reconfigure is harder for people to understand than bestow? Or easier?
Easier.
Interesting.
I think it's
because
easier.
like bestow came first and kind of like paves some ground here for understanding like creature and not a creature.
I think bestow does it is too much like a creature on a lot of those cards.
Interesting.
Sure.
I'd like to see them more. I'd like to see bestow creatures be more abstract in their representation.
Reconfigure A tier ability.
Yep.
All right. Well, next up, you knew it was going to be on this list. You know James wasn't going to remove this from the 160 we're talking about.
This bands with others.
It's banding.
Oh, I gotta. Okay.
It's banding.
Is your hot take that banding isn't D tier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to.
All right.
I'm ready to commit to banding.
You
D
explain
tier.
what banding is and does.
Okay. So, I might even get this wrong, which is so funny. So, when you have a creature with banding, you can attack as a band.
Correct.
A band is one creature with banding, and then a bunch of other creatures that do not have banding, or some do
Close.
have banding. Right?
You're close. Yeah.
Right? Like they attack in a band.
Attack in a band is right,
Yeah.
but you've got it backwards. Unless I
There's
have it
only
wrong, too.
one-
I'm pretty sure I know banding.
Okay, because I've played
It's like a mini
hundreds
game
of hours of Chandelar.
So when you're attacking,
Yeah.
you can have one creature that doesn't have banding in your band. But when
Right.
you're blocking, you only need one creature. Now, matter how many blocking creatures
Graham, just hit us with this because I think that's wrong.
we need the flavor. Let me try though. Let me finish.
Okay.
So
All right.
creatures may attack in a band if up to one creature does not have a band when attacking. And then during combat damage, the controller of the band assigns combat damage from creatures that blocked this band, and then similarly on defense. But you only need one creature.
The worst part about this is somebody with like 15 empty cans of Monster on their desk listening to this is going to go, "Yep, that's why banding's D. It's too complicated." It's like, no, it's not banding's fault. It's Chandelar's fault. Like, you know, I so rarely play with banding outside of Chandelar.
Right. Possibly that Chandelar just lied to you.
Yeah, or my brain is trying to remove any memories of Chandelar.
It's too bad that reminder text didn't exist in alpha, because like they're all just ones with banding, and then they have like a bunch of flavor text about the Banalish region or whatever. It's like, that's great, but we really could have used this space to remind us what banding does every single time.
Graham, can you band with us for a second?
While acknowledging that banding was flavorful and effective if used properly, it has been effectively abandoned by designers for being overly confusing. The rules needed to be different for attacking and blocking to express the effect properly, as the player takes on different roles in each situation. In both forms, the player with the banding creature assigns damage for both the banding creature and the creatures that are in combat with it, as opposed to each player assigning their own. When attacking, any number of attacking creatures with banding can join together with up to one attacking creature without banding.
Right, okay, yeah.
The defending player must either block the entire band or allow it through unblocked. If a blocking creature can block any one creature in the band, it can block the entire band. In addition, if an attacking creature with banding becomes blocked, the attacking player chooses how damage from the blocking creature is assigned. When blocking, if at least one creature blocking an attacker has banding, the defending player may choose how the creature blocked by the creatures with banding assign combat damage.
Okay.
So,
that does sound like it's a lot, but also I think part of that has to deal with how it is, like how the rules are written, and that if you're explaining banding to another player, it is relatively straightforward, right?
Okay.
Like, but also complexity isn't necessarily like a death sentence.
Sure.
I think it's flavorful. I think it's fun to build around and powerful. And I'm okay that it's obviously not coming back, but I would like to see it appear more than it does. Like, just give me a Modern Horizons card with banding, or give me like a commander with banding. Right.
So when you say it's fun to build around, do you have any experience of building around? Like, have you tried? Okay.
I have a Terranica banding deck.
Okay. So and I don't know what Terranika is, but like I'm trying to think what the use case is here. Do we just like put some death touch creatures in, and then some banding creatures,
indestructible creatures, protection from creatures,
right? So that you can cheat on combat damage, even harder than you're already cheating with banding.
Yeah,
you're maxing out your value by saying essentially because of banding. And the creatures I've included, my creatures don't die in combat.
Yeah, I get to dictate. I am trading raw power for the ability to dictate combat on my
You should put some vigilance in this deck, too.
I do. Terranika untaps the creatures.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, okay, so that sounds kind of fun.
I'm not arguing for like anything higher than the lowest rank on C, basically.
Okay.
Banding just gets thrown into like the D tier way too. Bands with others, that should be like Z.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But like banding proper, I think there's more charm to it. It is think of the other things that we've put at D or that would be cumulative upkeep.
Sure.
That's not fun.
Yeah, it's not as bad.
Banding is fun.
There's two reasons I want to agree. One is that like if you see a modern printing or just the Oracle wording on Banalish Hero, you just read the reminder text for banding. It actually is like pretty succinct. We've gone over it enough. I'm not going to repeat it, but like, yeah, it's actually not as complicated as people think. It's just, I think the kind of the opposite of what you said is true when you're trying to explain to people. Like when one player with a banding creature tries to explain it, oftentimes that is when wires get crossed and like people don't let them finish their sentence or they use the wrong metaphor to explain or whatever. And it's confusing. But I think there's enough value in just being different by saying that it's C instead of D that I kind of like it.
Right. Yeah. There is you get a little whimsy from playing some banding creatures. You get a little what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh my god! Are you comfortable with putting it on the same tier as Madness though?
Yeah. This is
Sure.
I will fight to the death, bro.
All right.
For Basking Rootwalla.
Okay.
And Banalish Hero.
Incredible.
Okay. Well, banding on C. All right. Let's all make some sacrifices. Let's make
novelty.
And
there's value in novelty. For
sure, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Where was I going with that segue? Yes, let's make
sacrifices.
N sacrifices. It's Annihilator.
Oh God. This is another one that has people emotional.
So Annihilator.
Do you remember the preview for this? It was the first time we saw a card go out of the border of the frame.
And it
was like Christmas Day or something.
The website slowly loading for the entirety of Emrakul.
Yeah.
So Annihilator is only shows up on Eldrazi as far as I'm aware, and it says it's Annihilator N. Whenever this creature attacks, the defending player sacrifices N permanents.
Okay.
Oofa-doofa.
I got a spot. I got a hard spot on.
Okay,
this.
Interesting.
Right. I could be swayed. I don't hate it. All the abilities where the like people whine about, like we talked about in Infect earlier, like people have a feeling, but it's like Infect and Annihilator both push the game towards a conclusion. Yeah. I love all that.
Yeah, I need to
any ability that's like this is going to end the game one way or the other.
Let me double check how many cards have Annihilator. Like they kept it.
It's like 20 or 30
actually there is a recent card that is not an Eldrazi. It showed up on an equipment.
Oh, the Nazgul mace.
On the Nazgul battle mace in the Lord of the Rings holiday boxes. The equipped creature gets Menace, Death Touch, Annihilator 1, and whenever an opponent sacrifices an online permanent, you put that card on the battlefield under your control, and that player pays 3 life.
Okay. I want to give Annihilator either an S or an A.
Interesting.
Okay.
Because, 1, it ends games.
Yeah, it does do
2, it is so cool. It is just so cool. Sick, man.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Even Graham's getting it.
I love Annihilator. Now, granted, it's like right around when I started playing, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so," because it's like these big, horrifying creatures, and it's this massive, back-breaking, otherworldly ability that's just like, "Oh, I attack." Now you have to. There's still the combat to deal with, but it's only I think it's
Trample is a mechanic that started out as something that you would showcase like immensity, right? Like just pure scale and size, like force of nature, and these big 44 minutes 5 seconds, if we would need to censor. And then they slowly started to go like, actually, what if we use trample for other applications too, right? Like, what if this stupid little warthog has trample because it's like charging at you,
right?
Or defiant elf because it is ha ha he he hoo hoo 1 mana 1/1 trampler, right?
Right.
Charging
they expanded what it meant a little bit to encompass something that's hard to deal with, or it's too fast or too
and
sharp.
So you get spots where big doesn't necessarily mean trample. Trample doesn't necessarily mean big. And trample has become it has become less of a keyword, more just like a facilitation of the game, kind of like defender and these it's just how the game works in a way, I want to say. And that might be kind of a nothing statement, but it just feels so like woven into the fabric of how Magic the Gathering works.
Right. You sort of like look for trample whether you know if it's present or not, or whether before anyone's introduced it, you're like, is there trample?
But buddy,
Annihilator.
Like that means big. And it means bigger than you are picturing. It is huge. And that rules. Look at every card with Annihilator, other than this Mace, which the Mace only gives Annihilator 1, but also is so thematic. Like that, I mean, especially like if you've read the books or seen the movie.
It's a really good
swinging
fit.
the mace and knocking over waves of like soldiers. Like, But like, this is like, it's so big, it's destroying everything in its wake, right? It ends games, pushes through board stalls, is thematic, and they have, in the year of our Lord 2025, shown restraint with it, which is which means it has retained its like sanctity.
Right.
It is still pure. And there isn't some jerk off Modern Horizons card where it's like, what if a 1/1 got Annihilator?
Yeah.
Like,
are we sure we've read all of Ocelot Pride to double check that it doesn't have
there is a
Annihilator?
Modern Horizons card that gets Annihilator, but it's that like statue of the Eldrazi that like once it gets up to 8 cards, then once there's enough belief like directed towards the statue, then it gets its power, which is to.
There was a comment, just as a random aside, there was a comment made today on the Modern Horizons 3 pre-release video on this channel that said the whole comment was just, it's fun watching them discover Ocelot Pride in real time.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Glad you had fun with that. Yeah.
We were, at the time we were just like,
all right, let's S tier.
I want to S
tier. It is kind of a big deal.
At the end of the day, like, I know that Magic is a lot of things for a lot of people, but like, dog, it's a toy. And I want my toy to be fun.
Ultimately, if you hate on a mechanic, that's probably going to push it up in our... And Annihilator has a lot of haters. Yeah.
All right. Next, this is an interesting one. It's Squad. So this showed up first in the Warhammer 40,000 commander decks, but it did show up again in
Machine or something?
One of the Lord of the Rings holiday cards.
Oh yeah, Galadrim Brigade
and
Fallout. So far, this has only appeared on Universes Beyond.
Speaking
cards.
of
easy D.
Gandalf rolling up here in my face when you said Squad. I'm just like, I have no memory of this.
Yeah, place. I got a Squad. Bomber.
So the way
Gloin. Yeah.
The way that Squad works is, as an additional cost to cast the spell, you may pay its Squad cost any number of times, and then when this creature enters the battlefield, you create that many tokens that are a copy of it. So we're looking at Space Marine Devastator. It's 3 and a white for a 3/3 with Squad for 2 generic mana. So when you cast it, you can pay 2 generic mana any number of times, and then you'll get token copies of it.
So for kind of the opposite reason that we put Annihilator in S just now, I sort of do want to put this ability in D because like the game hasn't gotten me to care about it yet. Like I don't have an emotional connection to Space Marine Devastators or clones of Gary. I feel like there was a Gary.
Yeah,
that
Gary
had Squad.
clone.
Yeah, Gary clones have Squad, and I'm like, I don't know if I care. The mechanic is like pretty clean or what. It's not hard to understand.
Yeah, it's just multi-kicker or
multi-kicker for
replicate,
creatures.
whatever.
Exactly. It sort of seems like you get more of this thing if you want that for more mana.
what's interesting is this was also mentioned on Scryfall's MTG Wiki, is that unlike Replicate, which when you cast it, paying Replicate, it puts all the copies on the stack. Squad is still just one spell,
one.
so a single counter spell will kill.
Oh, you have to pay when you're casting it?
I've remanded a couple Securitron squadrons. And like, nice 7 mana spell or whatever it is.
Right.
Like, yeah. Oof. Yeah, it's I don't know. This is one. It's kind of like Fortel, where I don't hate it.
Right.
It's just I'm not excited about it. I'm not in love with it. And that's even like without factoring in Universes Beyond.
I think Squad does show us that it is on like some continuum of like these kinds of abilities where it's like this is like one iteration, but probably after another 5-10 years, this won't be like everyone's favorite.
I also
version
just
of
don't
this
like.
ability.
I don't like the name. Squad.
Yeah, I don't.
Not even for meme potential. It's just like I don't know. Like if we're printing this on like an insect or something, we're going to call them a squad.
Well, we're
on,
also
like, a flock of birds.
I was going to say you're probably a little mad that it's Squad isn't the name for when this enters. You can search your library for any number of cards with this name and put them in your hand.
Oh, right, like
from the Hawk.
Yeah, exactly. Like Squad just feels weird for what it's doing. I get why it's called Squad because of Warhammer 40,000 or whatever, but like, yeah, it's just. Yeah, I'm good. Squad and D, baby.
Okay, we can put it in D.
All right. So different, also space, but different space. This is my worst one so far. It's Station. Brand new mechanic.
This mechanic did grow on me. When I first saw it, I was like, this ability seems really bad and not necessarily fun. And I don't like that it requires counters to like you have to keep track. But then as I played the limited, I was like, oh, it's actually kind of kind of cool.
A bunch of stuff in Edge of Eternity's limited works really well with it, like warping a creature in, getting its ETB ability, and then tapping it because it can't attack anyway, and then it goes away. And it's sort of like a bonus you get to station like sort of for free with the creature you're warping. That worked really well. There was another thing in the limited environment that interacted really well with stationing that I don't recall.
The untapper?
There's the red and white like
warp
cares about tapped creatures at the end of turn.
So much of that limited. I drafted a lot of this set.
Yeah,
actually, I really enjoyed this limited environment.
Me too.
Blue green ships or blue green X ships was my favorite.
That was your
deck.
go-to.
That's a good one.
That one kind of had the most different games.
It was pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. I loved a Gene Pollinator.
Gene Pollinator. Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad we all got that.
Yeah, of course. Every time I saw that card.
But I put this in C. You could even put this in D. Like because I like the cards, but did I like Station? Like, do you like Station?
Yeah, like that's where I'm at. Kind of like I guess I should be fair to my initial appraisal of this ability. I'm like, okay, so they remade crew, but I have to use counters. And then I have to, and then and the card looks like this messed up level up card, so I've got to kind of like put some work into scan. Like I didn't want Prototype to be a really, really highly rated one, partly because I'm like, look at a Prototype card, like it's kind of a mess.
Yeah,
and Station's the same thing.
I appreciate the flavor of Station. That like because it's also on lands, which are these planets, right? And so it's like when there's enough people on the planet, then it can do a thing. When the crew is on the ship, then the crew can do its thing. I appreciate that. That doesn't that doesn't make it good necessarily.
Tell me which of these statements stands out.
Okay.
Whoa, this has Annihilator. Whoa, this has Reconfigure. Whoa, this has Modular. Whoa, this has Madness. Whoa, this has Station. Like going through the new previews, you're like, whoa, there's a new card with Station. Like, I'm fine putting it at D. I like spaceships. I like the gameplay, but it could have been crew.
I think
this is the thing.
You know how? Okay, so you know how when when I was a kid, at least, maybe not you, maybe you escaped this, but probably in your era, it's like when I was
you had to dodge
Blood poisoning? No, where are you going to go? Sorry, that wasn't that
You
bad.
had to. You
no,
had to,
just
the bubonic plague.
No,
I'm calling you old.
no, you're good. You're good. You know, when the Inquisition was happening? Our parents fed us a lot of milk. It was like, you want to drink cow's milk, kids? Drink it. It's good for you. So good for you for growing your bones. And then later, like that movie Game Changers comes out, and it's like, actually, it turns out you were growing your bones really strong despite the fact that you were drinking all this milk. And Station kind of feels like, yes, the gameplay, the limited, was really fun, but maybe that was partly because they were like, okay, we've got this mechanic. We need to build around it and make it good.
Yeah.
And if you took the cards out of context, it's like, oh no.
It just
That's a spectacular metaphor.
You don't need to call it. It doesn't necessarily need to be a keyword, right?
Sure.
Like, I don't know. Right. It could, but it's just it's not inspiring.
Let's put it in D, and I could see leveling out. Like if we have two swaps, maybe we're going to want
it. Should be a
D
high D. I'd go D.
I think a
minus
C is fine. I'm just a little nervous to give up
Yeah.
our last C slot, and I think a D is also fine too.
All right.
C
Well,
minus. Yeah.
we've already ranked 10 mechanics, which means we have the City's Blessing. It's Ascend, which, reminder, is the name of the mechanic. City's Blessing is not the name of the mechanic. Ascend.
Every single one of these mechanics that gives me one more game token I have to create, I just want to put in D. Like I kind of want to put, I want to put Monarch in D. I want to put Initiative in D. I want to put Emblem in D.
So Ascend is from Ixalan or Rivals of Ixalan, and it simply says, if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. And generally, every card with Ascend also, and some cards without Ascend, do something different if you have City's Blessing. We're looking at Sky Marcher Aspirant. It's 1 white mana for a 2/1. If you have the City's Blessing, she has flying.
Smartly not putting Ocelot Pride.
Yeah,
up here.
exactly. I was going to say, we just talked about it, but it's like, oh, look at this powerful 1-drop with Ascend. This is extra abilities you get if you have the City's Blessing.
It's kind of a nothing burger.
Ascend is kind of a nothing.
Yeah,
burger.
it's just like you like it's not actually it kind of is, but it's basically
It is.
It's a way to not have gotcha moments, right? Like it's a way to be like, you've hit 10, now let's tell you that you've hit 10, so that like you're not at 10, somebody bolts a thing, and now this doesn't have flying, right?
Right. It's you get a limiter or what, you get to hit a high watermark and lock in your current rate of pay even if you stop working full time or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine putting this at D too.
Yeah,
I don't care.
if anyone cares.
I just don't care. I played so many cards with Ascend, right?
Sure.
Sky Marcher Aspirant, Snubhorn Sentry, like that mono white deck.
I played that deck in Constructed.
Awesome. Yeah, it was good
And
constructed.
Limited, obviously. I played a bunch of that set for Limited, not because I liked it, but just because I had time.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not good.
And you got to play a lot of it because it was fast.
Yes, yeah. Your games were over quickly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's a D mechanic. Sorry.
It's just nothing, man.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Next up, let's protect our creatures with some Umbra Armor. Mm-hmm. You'll recall originally introduced as Totem Armor and rebranded in 2023 for cultural sensitivity reasons.
So it
says here.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is Totem Armor when it was reduced or when it was introduced is later than Equipments.
Yeah.
And still trying to solve this age-old problem of like you don't want to get 2-for-1, you don't want to include auras in your deck. And did a decent job of it.
Yeah, what it reads, it's always on creature enchantments, and if the creature would be destroyed, not take damage, if it would be destroyed, you instead remove all the damage from it, and you destroy the aura instead.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Do you?
With 2 asterisks.
It doesn't get played a ton, but it's fun.
Yeah. It is less interesting at lower cost, but they also, because like it's less interesting at lower cost, but they've also kind of moved away from that, right? Like we haven't really seen this again, but we haven't seen a 1-mana one again.
Yes.
Like Spider Umbra and Hyena Umbra are like kind of boring. But even then, they're fine. They're cheap.
They're solid. Yeah.
I like Hyena Umbra. Spider Umbra, I'm totally fine with. Hyena Umbra, I think First Strike is rancid. So
are we putting First Strike at S tier when it comes, or are we not because it's too good?
That's
we're gonna fight
going to be a tough one.
To get into it. Yeah.
Maybe but like the second thing is like I just again how do we feel about this in a world where there aren't 1-mana hexproof creatures?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Bogles is the place where
The thing is,
these cards still play.
Umbra armors didn't fall out of a coconut tree. We have to accept them in the context of everything around them.
Yeah, and I like them as cards that it's like, look, play your Bear Umbra. You know, play your Drake Umbra. The fact that one of the best cards in that uncommon and common in that limited environment is a 5-mana aura that just gives +3/+3 and flying.
Oh, this was also kind of low-key your favorite set, too.
I drafted a lot of Rise of the Eldrazi.
Yeah.
I hate it. I used to hate it.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Avacyn Restored. That one was
AVR.
really favorite.
Yeah, but I drafted a lot of it and I came around to it,
Right.
but for other reasons.
There were hidden decks in Rise of Eldrazi. There was strategy to it. There was a bunch of things that
Defenders.
Once you looked under the hood and started actually drafting multiple times, you figured out there was a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
going on.
and then it's all kind of smeared by Dawn Glare Invoker at common.
Yes.
But I would put this at A. I think. I think I'm comfortable putting it at
my
A.
guess would be a B for Umbra Armor, but yeah, if I don't need to fight. Like I have no bones against Umbra Armor. It's never wronged me.
I don't know if I want to see it come back to a main set, but I'm never disappointed, and they seem to agree, to introduce it in Commander product or in like the Modern Horizons product.
Dog Umbra was in Modern Horizons 3.
In a very cool interpretation of what Umbras can do, right? A pacifism or protect your thing. Like, that's cool.
Maybe I should give it more credit, actually. I haven't played with these cards a ton, but playing against them, it's just like, oh, and then your creature won't die. Is that too good? You're like, no, the enchantment dies instead. You're like, oh, I still got a card.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I lost my 1/1 Death Toucher, but you lost your 1-mana Spider.
And there's some cool ones that came out after Rise, then Plane Chase, like Indrik Umbra and Felidar Umbra, like Octopus Umbra from Commander 2019 or 2018. Like, it's cool. And there's so much room that they can work with it. Yeah. Cool. Also Bear Umbra. I mean, this is a Bumbra fan club right here. Love the Bumbra.
Love the Bumbra.
Next, when we remove the last time counter from this podcast, it will be over. But until then, we have many mechanics left, including Vanishing. Not to be confused with Fading. Now,
or Suspend.
Vanishing reads, this creature comes into the battlefield with N time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter from it. When the last is removed, you sacrifice the creature. So we're looking here at Keldon Marauders. It's 2 mana for a 3/3 with Vanishing 2. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target player. So with Keldon Marauders, you play it. On your next turn, you take off 1 counter. It gets to attack once. And then on your next turn, you take the next counter off, and it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 mana deal 5.
Yeah, they tried to print Lava Axe for 2 mana,
Yeah.
and your opponent can interact with it or block it or whatever. But this was a strong card. We played this in it's not Halloween anymore, lol.
The ghosts disagree.
Yeah,
Our set's falling apart.
I don't know. We played it in
This was played in
formats,
Canadian Highlander.
Yeah.
It was played
Maybe
in
Standard?
Type 2, a little bit of Type 2. It was played in Extended.
Right.
Modern.
Extended.
Like this card
where I was
card
trying to
saw
remember
play.
it. Yeah.
I like Vanishing.
No, I like Vanishing too. I think Vanishing is improved Fading. They had Fading and they barely changed anything. They just went players keep messing up Fading. We should just fix Fading.
This is the planar chaos variant of Fading, which is Fading is if you cannot remove a counter, then you sacrifice the creature.
I think Vanishing is more intuitive than Fading.
Yeah.
I like Fading more.
Really?
I like the play of Fading, where Fading has more opportunities where you can treat Fading creatures like their abilities, right? A lot of Vanishing cards are creatures or the permanent and less like what you can do with the counters. There are fewer decisions to be made with Vanishing cards. Vanishing embodies a creature that's there temporarily, and you're going to use the creature for what's written on the card, like you would a normal creature. It's just on a timer. Whereas a lot of Fading cards, and maybe this is just the kind of cards that are printed for Fading,
right?
Like you are more in control of when and how you use it. So you get cards like there's a card called Wood Ripper. It's like a 5 mana 4/6 or something with like fading 4, and it has 1 generic, remove a fading counter from it, destroy an artifact. Right. And that's dope because that is either like a 4 power, 4, and this card fading 3, 4/6 for 5. And this is either like I get to slam with a 4/6, which is like a big body
for 5 mana.
For 5 mana,
especially
and
for
like
time. Really
I could just do this without removing the counters. Or I could play this and remove 1 counter and blow up something, and then also hit them a couple times. Or this could be like a one-sided Shatter Storm.
Sure.
And I love when and granted, this probably comes from a position because I think that I'm better at Magic the Gathering than a lot of other people. I don't think I'm great at this game, but I think I'm better than other people, which means I think I can use my tools. When given tools, I can use them better than my opponent, which means I have more opportunity to win the game or make cool incremental decisions. And I don't think you get that with Vanishing.
They didn't print Vanishing Parallax Wave.
Yes. But I think Vanishing is all that said, I still think I'm going to put Vanishing higher than Fading.
Okay.
Right? Like it's
like they printed better cards with Fading, but that's not the
Fading
fault
is more interesting.
Okay.
But is that because of the mechanic or the cards they printed with Fading?
Both.
Okay.
Well, okay, I think it's important to, as again, we didn't really ever have a chat about how we're doing this mechanically, but your tangent here really speaks to whether or not we're trying to judge the mechanic in its own rights for all of the potential cards that could have included this mechanic, or whether we really are just judging the mechanic in the context of the cards that they did print.
I think it is like not necessarily impossible, but at least disingenuous to approach Vanishing without looking at Fading, right?
Sure.
Like it's very much like it's Demon Souls to Dark Souls,
right?
And like
I cleaned some things up, but I missed some things.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you mean I can't throw bombs in this game?
I mean, not to tug my own pud, but yes, like I think I kind of think I knocked it out of the park with that for real Souls heads. It's like, they made it easier and more approachable, but still has a drawback to it. There's still a cost to it, right? It's not going to be a walk in the park. But part of the difficulty and part of the downside of Fading and kind of grokking it has a lot of very appealing points. And makes an experience that I am more interested in participating in.
Is Vanishing an A-tier ability?
I think it's B. I like Vanishing for B because I think.
Are you going to be willing to put Wood Ripper at C?
Yeah, I would put Vanishing at B, and when we come to Fading, I'd put it at C.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Vanishing's cool. It's just kind of one note.
I think it's B or A. Yeah, it's it's not maybe as actually in depth as Decade was. Sort of reminds me of that one where it's like you're going to lose this at some point, right? And so helping players learn how that works. It is a bit more. I agree. Like one note where it's like, hey, this does this one thing. You've got this for this one moment, so use it,
folks. If you haven't played with Jolting Merfolk, give it a shot. That bad boy rules.
All right, next up,
yeah, it's pretty good.
Next up, this mechanic did return recently in Dragons of Tarkir for a little bit of a rebound. It's Rebound, originally also from Rise of Eldrazi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It means that if you cast a spell from your hand, then as it resolves, you exile it, and at the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. You don't have to cast it. Interestingly, if you don't, it just stays in exile forever. And if you want it in your graveyard for later, you have to cast it, but you don't. But anyway, you don't have to pay for the rebound.
Yeah, I'm generally a fan of all these mechanics where you get to cast more spells, do more things, especially put more spells on the stack. But I wanna give Rebound the slight that working out what you do with it exactly is annoying. I'm the judge who was regularly being like, oh, you can't put your Rebound card on top of your library because you're representing your board state incorrectly.
Hell yeah, brother.
People mostly don't care. It shouldn't matter or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, in tournaments or something, you got to put your Rebound card in exile because it's in exile.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Somebody puts a dice on top of their deck to remind themselves of Aether Vial or Ancestral Visions.
Get that off!
No, that's specifically allowed. But
No,
the card
not
is
with
not.
me!
Oh, can I see that? Classic
Yeah,
Yellow
let me-
Jacket cheats. Yeah. What are you doing with that dice?
I'm gonna eat that D6.
Can I use that as a +1/+1 counter? Forget Seth Revival. Doesn't pay for Pact.
Don't get me started.
But honestly, seriously though, not just because I'm maybe a stickler or whatever, Rebound asks a lot of the player in terms of like the busy work of playing the game. So like I guess I'm not talking about like Magic Online Arena here. Like Rebound just makes you do this thing. It's not as bad as Daybound, but Rebound says like, okay, finish resolving this spell to a different zone. Don't forget to do that. Then have a delayed trigger. There will be no visual indicator.
Hell yeah.
The Daybound
baby. Hey, I love it. I love investing in my future. I love it when people miss their triggers. Like it's an A. It's an A.
Can I talk you into a C?
No. I could do B.
Let's do B.
I would do B.
Let's
do B.
I love the idea that there's Daybound, Nightbound, and Rebound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with B. It is a lot of fun. Getting to cast your spell twice is great.
Yeah. I like
And they even like that one, like the Nomads Assembly, and a few of the others. Like not the one I've played the most probably is Stagger Shock because I put Stagger Shock in a lot of decks over the years.
yeah.
It's now a little bit underpowered. It's not lately, but Stagger Shock fits into a bunch of different strategies. And it's like Stagger Shock doesn't really ask anything of you between the two casts,
Right.
But Nomads Assembly is like, okay, hey, the first time you're going to get this many 1/1s, and then the second time, hopefully it's more. But hey, your opponent actually has an opportunity to interact between the two casts,
Yep.
and it might be less.
And if they wrath your board and Nomad's Assembly goes to make a creatures and there are 0 creatures in play, so you get nothing.
Yeah.
You can't be that mad. You already got creatures for casting a spell.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And so there's some interesting play to the Rebound cards in that sense.
All right. Next up, we have Rebound, which I choose not to cast. Instead, it's Casualty. This is from Streets of New Capenna. So Casualty N. As you cast the spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power N or greater. When you do, copy this spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy.
Don't put Cut Your Losses on the screen, though. Put Mob Nixilis on the screen. That was the one we're going to remember. A lot of mechanics have, like, one card. Like, we saw Noble Hierarch, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, the main card.
I mean, I think, isn't it, is it Hide a Body? Or what's the what's
Dig
the
up
counter
the grave?
the counter spell?
Make disappear.
Make Disappear.
That
one
saw a lot of play.
Yeah,
one's
this
also
one
good,
this
yeah.
one's in the Arena Cube. Like this one shows up a lot.
This one's good.
This one's cool. Yeah. Ob Nixilis saw a bunch of constructed play, too.
That's true.
Might still. I don't know.
I like judging these mechanics by a common and like the marquee.
As long as there's a card where you like played it, like the Cut Your Losses one is like just a neat limited bomb. That card would probably still see some play if it was like slightly cheaper and didn't have Casualty. Like it's just like, hey, can you mill Fireball your opponent
Yeah, it's
out?
just like traumatized.
Can you win with this? Great, you did. Whereas Make Disappear and the Planeswalker both have a bit more like interesting play to them. I would say where like they do different things in different scenarios and. There's more magic to be done.
Yes.
So I want to judge cards based on those. And that said, still this ability, I'm kind of like a C or a D. Like
I just don't care.
I don't care enough. Like when you mentioned the ability, I didn't remember what it did.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I would be fine putting this in D because it doesn't evoke any excitement.
Like look at Make Disappear and Ob. You're like, do you remember that these are casualty cards? Like, is it these cards use the casualty mechanic? Like, is that why you put them in your decks? Like, no, dog. Like, I just need to have a way to kill my opponent or counter their spell.
Yeah.
They happen to have casualty on them. Whereas, like Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, that we have that Ob. Like, we even have the copying a Planeswalker, right? In the Jace Mirror Mage
That's
or
true.
whatever he's called. Like
Yep.
that card sucked, but like it was it's like a space that they had worked in.
There's
before.
an infinite combo with that card. Although, isn't there some way to just make all the copies of them? I forgot. There's like a 2 or 3 card combo.
I bet it still doesn't win. Like you just
probably
make
not.
a bunch of. I don't even.
You just
remember
make a
what
whole
that
bunch
card
of
does.
bare chested Jaces. Yeah.
No, that Jace was okay.
Look at all your pretty men.
Was Mirror Mage was Mirror Mage bare chested? I played a lot of Pirate Jace in the sideboard of Mono Blue.
Okay, yeah, that makes
card
sense.
was good.
Nice.
In the sideboard, and you felt great because you're like, "Ooh, I'm playing this dog shit mythic, baby."
It's good for this spot. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we knew this was going to happen because we were talking about Hexproof last episode, and Hexproof was intended to fix hefty air quotes, Shroud. So here we have Shroud, which is just this creature can't be the target of spells or abilities by anybody. No touchy.
I actually don't hate Shroud.
No, I have a very soft place for Shroud. I wish to protect Shroud. I'm on A or S for Shroud because the symmetricality does prevent all the shenanigans that we've seen in the entire Bogle's archetype, right? So you never feel like your opponent is ripping you off too hard when they play a Shroud creature. It's more just like, okay, they have a Shroud creature. We have to kind of change gears here. I can't
name a
kill
good Shroud creature.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Like it's Nimble Mongoose, I guess. Like that's the
it's the goose, but also like the goose.
Like Morphling, does that count? It can give itself Shroud for mana.
Fine.
Right?
You know what I mean?
The Sphinx of Jwar Isle.
Zephid?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. All these creatures are like, yeah, okay. There have been like Pro Tour coverage write-ups where like someone won with this. Like it was an important part of the end game.
If Goose is your best Shroud creature, like it can't be that bad. Like, and I know that it's like, oh, it's frustrating. I can't Doomblade it. It's like, okay, they're creatures.
Right.
You can run into them. You could block. You could do all these types of things.
Yeah, I guess the biggest knock against Shroud is that it is sort of nothing burger as well. It's just like, well, it's just right there. You just like turned off some stuff obliquely. You know,
I love not engaging with creatures, and my opponent's like, same, right? Like, yeah, Magic's cool because the cards all work together, and Shroud creatures are like, hey. I'd put this. This is an easy C for me. You want to put this at A?
I wanted to put it in B, but we ran out of B.
Because somebody didn't like Rebound.
Yeah, I think I want to put it in A.
You want to put it in A?
Is that wrong?
Yes, but I mean that's fine.
No, let's put it in C. It's fine.
Well, hold on.
Are we using our
we
swap
should
for
we
Rebound
should we
and
should
Shroud?
put it in A. We should put it in A because there's going to be some
more flexibility.
something rancid.
The thing is, Shroud being an A is not as terrible because like it's important that it's further away from hexproof. Like the fact that there's 2 whole ranks between Shroud and hexproof is nice just to be like just how much you it gives the flavor of hexproof being an F tier.
I do also think that Shroud would work better with modern design sensibilities. It is less
more X ones with Shroud. I don't know.
There's just I don't know. They're okay pushing creatures a bit more and just making block of stats with Shroud is like you could make an interesting. I think you could make an interesting Shroud creature for limited purposes or whatever.
Right.
Whereas back then they're like, okay, it's a 4-mana 2/3, and you're like, I guess.
Sometimes
like Sacred Wolf was cool, but even then, like, you know. You wanted to put your Oaken form on Sacred Wolf, right?
Yeah. Robin always mentions that Autumn Willow is in Homelands.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a cool design. Autumn Willow is cool.
Yeah, I guess.
And you can turn off her Shroud.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you two have been having fun today because I've been having a riot.
Oh, I like.
Oh
this
yeah,
mechanic.
Riot's
It's Riot.
Riot's sweet. It's like gives you a choice, but no matter what you choose, you don't feel like you messed up. It's 2 good things.
Yeah. It's simple. It's thematic. It's flexible with where you put it. It is. Yeah, it's all gravy.
Riot
and
is
like
on the stack. At like you cast the spell and then it's after it resolved, like after you've gotten
a
the
replacement effect.
Replacement effect. Yeah, enters with.
Once you know it's resolving, then you choose that either it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter or haste.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Two good abilities, and then like they didn't put it on a ton of cards where like the +1/+1 counter super matters.
I feel like I talk about the monkeys and the grapes a lot lately, but it's like, hey dog, do you want one grape now? Or do you want to wait and get 2 grapes?
Oh, the classic.
But Riot is like
test of
Riot is like, hey, I could give you $5 million now, but if you wait, I could give you $5 million. And you're like, I mean, I'm fine waiting. Like if I need to wait to get the 5 million, and you're like, you're being too kind. You didn't hear me, right? Like it's just like it's all good all the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, Let me think about why
Yeah.
you're giving me $5 million.
The other great thing about Riot is that, and I don't know how many other mechanics in all of Magic pulled this off, but it's like it offers you the choice of like, hey, are you playing limited or constructed?
Yeah, exactly.
Like not a lot of mechanics do this. Like, hey, we're going to print this card. You're going to like it in limited because it gets a +1/+1 counter. And hey, we're printing this same card. You're going to like it in constructed because it gains haste.
I am so okay putting this at S because think about how many people complain about how like they've removed choice from a lot of things. Like it's all gravy all the time. They're like,
Right.
where's the downside? Like, remember when cards had a cost?
Right.
And like Riot doesn't have a cost. It is all gravy, but you're like, actually, this is the right amount of all gravy.
Yeah.
Right? You're not
Just
mad.
enough gravy.
Right.
Nobody's like, oh, Riot's too good. Except for maybe a salty blue-white player.
You like pick the plate up, it appears to be all gravy, but then you bite in and there's potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. I'd S tier Riot.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's S tier Riot.
All right, 2 more for this batch. Next up, get a squad together. It's Battle Cry. So this is from Scars
Mirrored
Block?
and Besieged.
Mirrored and Besieged. Thank you. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
So I like Battlecry.
I like
I
Battlecry,
wish it
too.
was Battlecry N.
Sure.
Like I think it would be
You could have like a creature has Battle Cry
But then
3,
that-
and then all the creatures get +3/+0.
That Lava Runner guy, or what's he called? The one in a red landfall. Get
the
Battle Cry?
Reckless
Pyro Surfer.
Pyro Surfer. That card. I mean, that card basically has Battlecry N.
It's like it has
and
Battle Cry
is
in for
busted.
land, but because Battle Cry doesn't have any more words on it, they got to template this card really elegantly.
Yeah,
right?
it
It's just
gains
like
Battle
gets
Cry.
instances of Battle Cry for every landfall trigger.
Yeah.
This, by the way, is the new like best card with Battle Cry. Hero of Oxford Ridge, coolest card with Battle Cry. Hero of Bladehold, probably like
Hero of Bladehold-
shiniest card with Battle Cry.
I lost to that card in Vintage Cube in the past year.
And then like Signal Pest, most played card with Battle Cry, right? So
Yeah.
Most misinterpreted art with Battle Cry.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it does look like that thing's face, and then you're like, wait, that's its hand, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It does have a tiny little face though.
Let's go little
Yes.
face.
It's got a little face. Okay, so Battle Cry is a cool mechanic. It's straightforward. It gives you what you're asking for. The opponent doesn't like to see it, but also doesn't feel terrible about it. Can we fit it into A still? Is there still an A spot?
Yep.
Yep, we've got currently
Perfect.
one
Okay.
space in A and one space in C.
Okay.
And then you've got your potentially 2 swaps
I
at the end
I
of the
feel like
episode.
the way we've been doing it, I think A is the safer spot for Battle Cry.
All right.
It's a good mix of power, good mix of complexity, good mix of asking something of the player to make their cards kind of sing, and a plenty of payoff for when your Battle Cry cards matter. And they brought it back in. Didn't they just bring it back to standard recently too? That Sanguine Evangelist.
Sanguine Evangelist. Yeah.
Is that like
in
one
Lost Caverns.
one card with
One
Battle Cry
rare.
from Lost
From
Caverns,
Lost
but it was
Caverns.
in the standard set. Like it was in the regular,
Yes.
not the
It was in
commander set.
LCI.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
good, and that was a good card. It saw play.
Yes, tons of play.
Yeah.
Regular play, and then also recently that Modern Horizons 3 card we pointed out. So like
Pirates
Battle
of
Cry
Earth.
is like in the mix for like French vanilla.
Yeah, they'll bring
abilities
it
or
back.
whatever.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to our last mechanic from today.
We
and
only have a C.
Currently,
I hope
you've only
it's a
got
C-tier
space in C.
mechanic. Yeah, we hope.
This is interesting. I will be surprised, I think, if it slots in at C
Okay.
because it's cheaper for every other mechanic we've ranked today. It's Affinity.
Well, we said that we were going to rank it pretty low because
Really?
Affinity is a busted mechanic. If you don't know, the spell costs 1 generic less to cast for each whatever thing you have affinity for.
It
that you
used to only
control.
be artifacts, right? Like
Actually,
it didn't.
no, Graham.
Oh,
Right away, and I want to say the first set with affinity, but was it the second? Was it Darksteel with the lands ones, or was it Mirrodin? It wasn't the third one, was it? Was it Fifth Dawn?
Which card?
There's a cycle of artifact creatures that count your it's
affinity for
Darksteel.
islands.
Yeah.
Spire, the golems.
The golems, thank you. Yeah,
Razor
Draw
Golem, Spire Golem, Dross Golem, Oxida
Affinity
Golem,
for
Tangle
swamps and
Golem.
islands.
So the very first set with affinity did just give us affinity for artifacts, right?
Affinity was also in Mirrodin, right?
Yeah, Mirrodin. Mirrodin
The
introduced
first block.
affinity.
It was
Yeah.
the in
but it was always called Affinity for artifacts. It was never just called Affinity.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was always called affinity. for
Well,
artifacts.
Affinity 4.
Affinity
They
4.
had Affinity for artifacts and Affinity for blank.
Blank, yeah.
But now it's like the Affinity for anything.
Yes, you can count your red permanents or whatever it is. So, I mean, and they had that built in with the original ability, but also it was for artifacts. Like that's what the only affinity ability in Mirrodin, and then those Draw Skull and friends we were just showing you, those were really an outlier. So yeah, like in context, affinity was busted. Like affinity hit Magic like a ton of bricks. You're supposed to have to pay mana for your spells. That's part of the design of the game. Every time they've taken that away, something breaks. Like Storm's not fair. Like Phyrexian Mana's barely fair. It's pretty unfair. Affinity's not fair. Delve's not fair. Like all these cards where you get free stuff.
Turns out cheating on cost is pretty good in a game balanced around cost.
Yeah. Free spells aren't fair.
Hot take.
Yeah, and Affinity is a bunch of free spells. So, yeah, it's kind of a garbage mechanic in that sense.
Yeah, I like.
C might actually be correct.
The good has not outdone the bad, and also I think cost reduction is one of the most boring things you can do in the game without providing additional like movement of zones or whatever.
I also kind of want to give it a dig for flavor. Like, I don't think that Affinity cards really like sell the idea that like you have a bunch of artifacts and they work together in tandem like very viscerally. It's not like, did you just playing your Mirror Enforcer on turn 1 really make you feel like you built some engine that all works well together?
If you tried to like picture like I dropped a frogmite into the ocean or on a tropical island, it's like, and it doesn't belong there, but if I have it in a room full of a bunch of wires and metal, it belongs there. And you're like, okay, I can kind of see that, but also, what if I just like dropped like a Yeti on a tropical island? Like it in the instances where it doesn't work, like where you're like trying to tie it to the thematic like realm or whatever, like artifact lands are surrounded by these pieces or whatever. Dog, that's just Magic the Gathering. Like that's why that's a charm of this game.
I like the ways that it's been used recently sparingly for flavorful reasons. I know there's some UB examples that I can't think of, but in Magic there was the Tomic printing. Right, Bart Samboko has affinity for birds because he likes birds.
Yeah, this one's adorable.
Yeah, I like birds too, dude.
Tomic has that one with affinity for planeswalkers because he's
right. Yeah, I like men too, dude.
And and it's only one generic mana too that he can get affinity or whatever. Yeah. Tomic costs.
We can't give every bird-loving homo affinity, dog, because then Matt and I are going to be free.
It's like, affinity for food. Oh, yeah, this card's actually kind of nuts, too.
Yeah.
All three of these last cards we've seen on the screen, thank you, James. Like, the affinity for birds, food, planeswalkers, like, these are sort of doing their best to, like, salvage this ability. And you're right, there have been a bunch of these.
Yeah.
So, like, there must be...
I think these are fun. I don't think it undoes anything that you just said about the issues with affinity.
This is stupid. Affinity for like. I get it.
Kind of fair though.
Yeah,
like, I'm not too mad.
But I'm not like excited. It's like, I get to play a bunch of equipment in my Nahiri deck. It's like, yeah, you were already doing that,
right?
And like, I guess maybe you get rewarded for that, but I don't feel smart. Right?
I forgot about this one. They've been doing it a bunch, actually.
Yeah.
There's got to be someone at Wizards that's got a huge crush on affinity for some reason. We're looking
at Thrumming Hive Pool right now, which has affinity for slivers. With notably in EOE, there's no slivers, so you don't get any cost reduction in that set. But if you're running a slivers deck, it's just free.
So, and that's weird to me. The fact that they keep dropping these affinity cards and trying to like make affinity adjust mechanic or something, or have its day where it's not the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like
people like.
I don't know why they're trying to do that. Okay,
they like cheating on costs.
So given that, so I mean, by the way that we've laid it out with 4, because we have to evenly distribute this, it goes in C right now.
Yeah.
But now we come to the end of the episode, and how do you feel about?
I kind of want to switch Rebound and Shroud. I don't know. Do you still feel good about Umbra Armor in A?
Yeah,
fine with that.
Yeah, I don't hate.
I love our C line.
I like Rebound and Shroud. I could get behind that.
Sure, I could. Yeah. I could also.
All right.
But wait, let's examine our D line closely.
Squad, Station, Ascend, and Casualty.
I wonder if we're being too cruel to Station.
No, man.
Should we switch Station and Affinity?
No, because I think Affinity. The
comments are going to switch Station and Banding. That's the. Like,
I think you made a solid case for banding.
I like that we have banding in C and we're going to stick with it, but I feel like we're going to get torn down if it was coming to a vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Shroud is just kind of like there's
think
not enough going on for Shroud to actually deserve an A.
I can predict
Yes.
most of the negative comments in this episode are going to be because Wheeler has a reasonable assessment of his abilities as a Magic player.
Yeah, most of the comments in games of Magic I play with Wheeler have to do with that too.
What?
But-
I think
damn
I'm
it.
okay?
That you're good at Magic
just
and
meant-
are aware that you're good at
Mad at you
Magic.
for beating me.
I mean, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm better than your average player, but your average player is dog shit, dude.
It hurts when you say
No
that.
offense.
Yeah.
I'm not
Take
saying.
it.
I'm not even talking about you.
No, we're
Well,
fine. We're average. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
I would
I
swap.
have to
Shroud
watch
with-
these games of North 100 Showdown I'm playing where I'm just like, why am I tanking for so long instead of just scooping?
I mean that also, that's a selection bias of like these are people that have only seen me play Magic or us play Magic on camera, which
Right.
is the completely different beast from
Actually,
When you're
Wheeler
in a
deserves more
tournament.
credit than he's giving himself because he's able to play as well as he does on camera, which is hard.
All right, Wheeler, what is your one swap?
I would swap Shroud with Rebound because I
Let's
think
do that.
yeah.
All right, rebound to A, Shroud down to B.
Yeah.
Nelly, what's your one swap?
Oh, no, sorry. I just wanted to make this. I thought we were only getting one each.
Yeah, I kind of like one.
I love our S tier, and I love our C and D, and I think we did it. I don't care about Umbra Armor that much, so I might have swapped Umbra Armor and Prototype, but I don't want to. Honestly, Umbra Armor is actually more elegant than Prototype, and that's an important thing for me. So let's keep it.
Umbra Armor's fun.
Yeah, it actually Umbra Armor. Honestly, like it just hasn't been a big part of my Magic career. I haven't run into or used those cards very much, but like, it's fine.
All right.
It's clean. Yeah.
Our winning mechanics of the day in terms of being placed in S tier: Overload, Death Touch, Annihilator, and Riot.
What a bang!
Yeah, we nailed that.
Yeah.
What juicy
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. All right. Well, hey, this wraps up episode 2 of our tier listing the mechanics series. Look for episode 3 at some point. Like I said, these aren't going to be, like I said in the first episode, which was a few weeks ago, these are not going to be week on week. So you'll see the next one in some number of weeks. But I'm enjoying this. I'm looking forward to it. Until then, I want to remind you, of course, that the show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. Please put the LRR on there. It's important. Dragon Shield, if you're buying their sleeves, use this code LRRMTG5. Get yourself a discount. And of course, most importantly, you and your kind support of our Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or becoming a member on this YouTube channel. Member shoutouts at the end of the episode. Until we are back here for Tier Ranking the Mechanics, episode 3, I have been Graham, joined by Nelson.
But how does Soul Flayer feel about these ranks?
And Wheeler.
What?
Thanks to James on tech for arranging all of this as well. Paul for putting our tier list thing together, and Heather for getting the episodes online. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time.
Bye.